Senator Scott, you are recognized for your questions.
Thank you. Thank each of you for being here. Secretary Mayorkas, are you responsible for DHS, responsible for vetting all the Afghan refugees coming in?
I am responsible for the work of the department.
Sure. So since, let's say since the 1st of August, how many Afghan refugees have been denied entrance into the United States?
I don't have that number at my fingertips. I know it is very de minimis.
Okay.
In terms of...
Why would that be?
Because we have not found many people with derogatory information relative to those who qualify for admission to the United States by reason of their status.
Okay. So the Afghan refugees that have gotten into the United States in our bases, if you found something, what's your process? How could you send them home? What's your process for doing that?
So there are a number of options available to us, Senator. Number one, we can, of course, seek their voluntary return to a third country. Number two, we place them, if there is a reason to do so, we would place them in enforcement proceedings and seek their removal immediately.
And you believe you'd be able to send them back to Afghanistan?
Well, whether it's Afghanistan, that's something under review, but whether it's Afghanistan or another country, we would indeed seek their removal from the United States.
Okay. So your DHS was set up as a result of 9/11, right? And so, and we've had significant military presence in Afghanistan for quite a while. It's gone. So now we don't have the same ability to defend the homeland that we did when we had military in Afghanistan. So what changes have you made to make sure that DHS is doing its job to make sure Americans are safe?
So, Senator, the architecture that has been built over 20 years since 9/11 remains in place and is only strengthened. We have a screening and vetting architecture. We have greater cooperation amongst the federal agencies in the counterterrorism, intelligence, and law enforcement communities. We remain ever vigilant in that regard.
Okay. Do you and Director Wray, do you agree that the Taliban is a terrorist organization?
I agree that the Taliban is a terrorist organization.
I believe it is identified as such, Senator.
Sure. So earlier this month, the Taliban announced the senior leadership. One notable appointment was Sirhan Haqqani to be Afghan's interior minister. He's on the F.B.I.'s most wanted list and designated as a global terrorist due to his role in the January 2008 attack on a hotel in Kabul that killed 6 people, including an American citizen. Director Wray, is there still a $10 million reward for information leading to the arrest of Haqqani?
To my knowledge, he remains on the list, and the reward is still out there.
Okay. All right. Do each of you agree that it seems to be counterintuitive that it would be against national security interests for somebody like that to be in senior leadership of the Taliban? We'd all agree with that, right?
Yes.
Yep. And we've had conflicting testimony about how many people are left there. We've had someone, Secretary Blinken said 100 citizens to 200. We've had earlier that it could be as much as 9,000. We don't know exactly what it is. First off, were 2 of you disappointed when our military came home without all the American citizens?
If I may, Senator, the United States government's enduring commitment is to bring every United States citizen that wants to return to the United States to bring them home. That is our enduring and continuing commitment.
But were you disappointed that it didn't happen before we brought our military home?
Our goal was to return every willing American citizen home, and of course we were disappointed if we were not able to accomplish that, but we have not stopped in our efforts.
Okay. Dr. Wray?
Well, certainly I would be disappointed if we don't do right by all those Afghans who worked so bravely side by side with us over the past 20 years. And that's why we're all working so hard, as Secretary Mayorkas said, to try to make sure that we get the right people, underline the right people, out where they can be brought to safety. I do want to clarify my answer to an earlier question. I've been handed a note that while the reward, this is on the Haqqani question, that while the reward is definitely still out there, as I understand it, Haqqani may no longer be on the top 10 most wanted
So
terrorists.
he's still on the list.
But still to have the reward is still posted.
Okay, so first off, were you, Dr. Ray, were you disappointed that we didn't get all of our, just even American citizens, let alone all the individuals that helped us? Were you disappointed that those all didn't come home before our military left?
Well, obviously, we want to make sure that we get all the right people out, including American citizens. I know that everybody worked very hard to move a massive amount of people in a very short period of time, and the FBI was able to play a small part in helping other agencies on that.
So what do the two of you believe is going to be our ability to continue to get Americans home, or on top of that, individuals that have helped us, when you've got a terrorist on our F.B.I. most wanted list, or maybe not the top 10, but some number, and he's part of leadership there. What's our chance that actually this is going to happen, that we're going to get American citizens home, or Afghans that helped us?
We're extraordinarily dedicated to that, and I think Secretary Blinken has spoken powerfully about that actions will speak louder than words with respect to the Taliban's willingness to work with us to effect the evacuation of individuals who have worked with us or United States citizens that want to leave Afghanistan. I should say that a number of U.S. citizens are Afghan nationals and have expressed a desire to stay. So, but our commitment is enduring and unrelenting.